It started with a vibration. Not loud. Not urgent. Just wrong. My husband's phone wasn't supposed to be there. He had already left for work. Same routine. Same kiss. Same, "I'll be late tonight." But the phone? Sitting on the kitchen counter, buzzing like it had something to confess. I almost ignored it. Because in 10 years of marriage, I had never checked his phone. Not once. Even when things felt off. And lately? They had. Short replies. Late nights. That distant look like he was somewhere else. The phone buzzed again. The screen lit up. A message. No name. Just a number. "Did you tell her yet?" My stomach dropped. Her? I told myself it could be work. Something harmless. But deep down, I knew it wasn't. I picked up the phone. Hands shaking. The screen was already unlocked. No password. No protection. Like he never expected me to see it. That's when I noticed something strange. 2 messaging apps. One I knew. The other, hidden in a folder labeled Utilities. People don't hide things unless they don't want them found. I hesitated. Because I knew whatever was inside that app would change everything. But I tapped it anyway. And the first thing I saw didn't make sense. Until I read the contact name. That's when everything shattered. Because the next message? It didn't just feel wrong. It was impossible. And it proved my husband wasn't living just one life. I stared at the contact name, hoping I was reading it wrong. Home. Not our home. Just home. My chest tightened. Who saves a contact like that? I tapped the thread. And instantly, I wished I hadn't. Photos. Messages. A whole conversation that didn't sound like a side fling. It sounded like a life. Did Lily finish her homework? I'll pick up groceries on my way. Miss you. Dinner won't be the same without you tonight. I couldn't breathe. Lily? We don't have kids. We tried. For years. And when it didn't happen, we stopped talking about it. He said it didn't matter. Said I was enough. So who is Lily? And why is my husband asking about her homework like he's her father? My hands started shaking harder as I scrolled. Pictures loaded slowly, one after another. A little girl. Maybe 7 or 8. Smiling. Missing a front tooth. Then another photo. My husband. Standing behind her, hands on her shoulders, smiling like I had never seen before. Not the polite smile he gave me lately. This one was real. Alive. Happy. Like this was his actual life. I felt something inside me crack. Because this wasn't cheating. This was something deeper. Something planned. Something permanent. I kept scrolling, desperate for an explanation that didn't exist. Then I saw a message sent just last night. Can't wait to come home tomorrow. She's starting to ask questions. My heart stopped. Questions? About what? About him? About us? That's when it hit me. This wasn't new. This had been going on for years. Maybe even our entire marriage. And suddenly, every late night, every business trip, every "I'll be late" started making sense in the worst possible way. But I still didn't know where this home was. Not yet. Until I opened the next message. And saw something I was never supposed to see. An address. And a photo attached to it. That's when I realized. I wasn't just looking at messages anymore. I was looking at directions to his other life. I stared at the address like it might disappear. It didn't. It was real. A full street name. A house number. A place that existed somewhere in the same city I'd been living in for 10 years, completely unaware. My first instinct. Close the phone. Pretend I never saw it. But that feeling didn't last. Because something deeper kicked in. Something louder. I needed to know. I grabbed my keys before I could talk myself out of it. My heart was pounding so hard it felt like it was pushing me out the door. I didn't even remember locking the house behind me. The drive felt unreal. Every red light lasted too long. Every turn felt heavier. And the entire time, one question kept repeating in my head. What am I about to find? I kept expecting to wake up. For this to be some twisted misunderstanding. But the GPS kept guiding me, street by street, closer to something I wasn't ready to see. Then I turned onto the road. Quiet neighborhood. Clean lawns. Kids' bikes and driveways. Normal. Too normal. My hands tightened on the steering wheel as I slowed down, scanning the house numbers. And then I saw it. The number matched. My stomach dropped. It wasn't hidden. It wasn't run down or secret. It looked like a home. Warm. Lived in. Real. There was a car parked outside I didn't recognize. And then I noticed something that made my chest tighten. A pink backpack sitting on the front steps. Lily. This was her house. I should have left right then. I should have turned around and protected whatever pieces of my life were still intact. But I didn't. Because I needed the truth more than I needed comfort. So I parked across the street and waited. Minutes passed. Or maybe longer. I couldn't tell. Then the front door opened. And everything inside me stopped. Because the person who walked out wasn't a stranger. It was my husband, holding the hand of a little girl. And right behind him was a woman smiling like she belonged there. And in that moment, I realized I wasn't the wife. I couldn't move. My hands locked on the wheel, breath shallow. Across the street, my husband bent down, fixing the little girl's pink backpack like it was routine. Like this was home. The woman stepped closer, brushing his jacket. Easy. Familiar. Not a secret, a life. I felt sick. Because I recognized that version of him. The gentle one. The present one. The man I thought I lost. Except he didn't disappear. He just gave it to someone else. I should have driven away. I didn't. I opened the car door. Every step toward that house felt unreal. Like I was watching someone else walk straight into a nightmare. Then he looked up. Our eyes met. His face drained instantly. The smile vanished. He froze. Good. Because I already felt like a ghost. The little girl looked confused. The woman followed his stare, then saw me. Silence. Heavy. Sharp. I forced the words out. Who is she? The woman frowned. Excuse me. I stepped closer. Heart pounding. No, who are you? My husband tried to speak, but nothing came out. Then the woman answered. Calm. Certain. I'm his wife. Everything inside me broke. But the next thing she said made it worse. For a second, I thought I misheard her. I'm his wife. The words just hung there. Heavy, unreal. Then she added, almost confused. Who are you? That question hit harder than anything. Because suddenly, I didn't know how to answer. My husband finally stepped forward. Wait, this isn't. Stop. My voice cut through him. Sharp. Done. I turned back to her. How long? She blinked. What? How long have you been married to him? A pause. Then, 8 years. 8. We've been married 10. My stomach dropped. That means there was no overlap mistake. No timeline confusion. He didn't cheat once. He built 2 marriages. At the same time, I let out a small, broken laugh. Wow, he's efficient. The woman's expression changed. Confusion turning into fear. Wait, what are you saying? I stepped closer, holding up his phone. I'm saying I'm his wife. Silence. Then everything exploded at once. What? That's not possible. Tell her. I snapped at him. He looked between us, trapped, sweating, cornered. I can explain. Explain what? I fired back. Which house you sleep in on Wednesdays? Or which wife gets weekends? The little girl clutched the woman's hand tighter. Mom, what's going on? Mom. The word echoed. The woman's face drained as it all started to click. No, this isn't. I stepped in, voice low. Check his phone. The one he actually uses. Her hands trembled as she reached for him. He hesitated. Too long. That hesitation said everything. And when she saw it, something in her broke too. She looked at me, eyes wide, voice barely there. How long have you been with him? 10 years. Her knees almost gave out. And in that moment, we both realized the same terrifying truth. We weren't fighting each other. We were both victims. But what he said next changed everything again. He finally spoke. And I'll never forget the way his voice sounded. Not confident. Not controlled. Desperate. Both of you need to understand, it's not what you think. The woman laughed, sharp, broken. Oh really? Because I think I'm married to you. He ran a hand through his hair, pacing like the ground was collapsing under him. You are. You both are just. I cut him off instantly. Just what? Just 2 accidents. That shut him up for half a second. Then he said something that made my skin go cold. I never meant for it to go this far. Silence. Even the little girl stopped moving. My mind couldn't process it fast enough. Never meant. 10 years. 8 years. 2 families. 2 homes. And he never meant it. The woman stepped forward, voice shaking. So what is this? A mistake you just kept repeating for a decade. He looked at her. Then at me, like he was searching for an exit that didn't exist. I got overwhelmed, he finally said. I couldn't choose. That word. Choose. I snapped. So instead you built 2 lives? He flinched. Because that was the truth he didn't want spoken out loud. The woman's voice cracked. Do the kids know? About her. Silence again. Longer this time. And that silence answered everything. My stomach turned. You have another child? I whispered. He didn't deny it. He didn't confirm it either. Just looked away. And that was worse. Because suddenly, this wasn't just betrayal. It was structure. Planning. Years of hiding. Then the woman said something quieter, scarier. If you didn't want to choose, then who else knew about us? His face changed instantly. A warning. A panic I hadn't seen before. No, he said quickly. Don't bring them into this. I repeated. And that's when I realized. This wasn't the only secret. Not even close. Because someone else knew exactly how he was living. And they were about to arrive. We heard the car before we saw it. Slow. Controlled. Like whoever was coming already knew the ending. My husband went pale instantly. That's when I realized. This wasn't a surprise. It was an arrival. A dark SUV rolled in behind us. Tinted windows. No hesitation. No confusion. The woman tightened her grip on her daughter's hand. Who was that? No one answered. Because my husband couldn't. The door opened. A man stepped out. Not a stranger. My husband knew him too well. The way he straightened up gave it away. Fear. Recognition. Panic. Finally, the man said calmly. You were never supposed to let them meet. My stomach dropped. Excuse me. I said. He ignored me. Instead, he pulled out a folder. Inside, photos. Documents. Names. My husband tried to interrupt. Don't. The man cut him off. You lost control a long time ago. Then he looked at us. And said, You're not his only families. Silence. My mind stalled. The woman whispered. What do you mean families? The man opened the folder wider. More women. More children. Different homes. Same man. A system. Not mistakes. Not affairs. A structure. My knees weakened. This wasn't betrayal anymore. It was organized. Then the man said quietly, He doesn't belong to any of you. My husband whispered, Please. But it was too late. The man looked down at his phone, then spoke one final line. They're all outside now. And right then, my husband's phone lit up. Unknown number. One message. We're all here.